Hi, question for both. Overall years, you've had some really interesting guest stars, like famous ones like Linda Blair, Dee Wallace, I've always liked Gary Cole.
Snooki.
Right? Yeah.
I forgot about her.
Anyway, and this is not limited to just those people, just any interesting stories you had from working with them. You know, so I'm just going to leave it to you. You guys are more entertaining than I am, so go ahead.
We had Paris Hilton on the show one year, and I remember, you know, this was kind of at the height of her kind of social status back then, and you know, she was kind of known as being this like blonde bimbo, and carried on that way, and so I just assumed that that's who she was. And when she came on set, here walks in this super pro, knew all her lines, like had a completely different voice, had a different demeanor, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's playing a character. Like the Paris Hilton was a character. Like she's like dialed in real life, and that totally threw me for a loop. And I was like, wow, okay, maybe this was all like a social experiment for her. And then while we were shooting, we were doing this one thing. We were blocking out the scene, and our camera operator Brad, he says, "Hey Paris, if you could just do a banana into your mark," which, for those of you who are not actors, can probably figure that out. What he would mean if you could just banana in. Do you know?
Hello. That's what she said.
Yeah, you just, instead of doing a straight line, you would just do a little curve.
Oh, like a banana.
Like a banana.
You slipped.
And Paris looks at me and he's like, yeah, if you could just banana in, and she just looks at me, she goes, what's a banana? And I'm like, there she is. She's in there. I don't know why that just came to mind. Could you?
Well, I was just thinking about one recurring phenomenon on the show with guest stars and co-stars occasionally on the show. Now that the show's been on for a long time, we occasionally get actors on the show who are serious fans of the show. And we had an actor toward the end of last season who was on the show who had done very well in the audition. And then when me and Jared came on set, she just lost her cool. He was like shaking and just like so excited, and it was such an amazing mashup of like actor, professional actor, and super fan on set. And she was like, oh my god. And Phil Segretia was directing, and he was like, hey guys, here. So she was not nervous in the audition. She is really nervous as soon as you guys walked on set. And she tried to be nice to her. And of course, we just made it worse. But yeah, that's been an interesting, occasionally, right? We occasionally see that when people come on and they're like, oh God, I've been watching the show since I was, 10.
Or I was on the show when I was 10.
Yeah, that's another thing, right?
And now I'm 24 years old, and it's like, what? Like the girl that played Dean's daughter in Slice Girls was the little girl in the Benders. And I remember she walks on, she's like a fully grown woman, and she's like, hi, and I'm like, hey, how are you? She's like, it's good to see you again. I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah, I played Missy Bender. And I had to like look it up on my phone, and there she was, this little girl had grown up and was back on the show again. She's probably been back on another time. I don't know, it's too many. But yeah, we get a lot of really talented people, and it's like Misha said, the show's been on so long that we get some interesting ones that either are fans or ones that are return. That, you know, so I never say, hey, nice to meet you, because they've probably been on the show before. I just don't recognize them because they're, you know, 12 to 15 years ago.
And they probably don't recognize us.
And they probably don't recognize us either, so.
They were young.
Right.
Full of promise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Every single day, people, like, you get so many kind messages, whether it's told in person or online. So I want to say, genuinely, how does that make you feel, knowing that so many people are going out of their way just to want to tell you, hey, you're a good person, I'm glad you exist, and everything. Because basically, how does it feel to get so much love on a daily basis?
It's not bad. I have to say, without hyperbole, I think there are times when the constant outpouring of affection from the fans has been a source of consolation for me. Like, it felt like, oh, maybe I'm not so terrible. And then there are times, you know, when you can see that onslaught of positivity and think, oh, God, I don't deserve this. Why am I, like, you know, and you can kind of, or at least I can kind of like cringe at it, but I think on balance, it feels nice. Like, it feels very lucky to be the recipient of you know, kindness and affection from a group of, you know, relative strangers. And it also, I think it's true for all of us. It makes us feel like we see that and we feel like reciprocating. We feel like, oh, I love them. And, you know, when we reflect on the show drawing to its conclusion, I think there's a big part of all of us that feels like we have trepidation about losing that community and that, you know, that source of kindness and affection. And I think I, for one, am always going to love fans of the show and you guys. And you will forever have changed my life. And I'm very grateful that you all came into my life. Not you, but yeah.
Yeah, it is, to echo what Misha said, it's very nice. And it at least makes me feel as though that I am, the love that I put out into the universe, this is how I kind of see it getting to come back to me. And I think that that's something that I've learned along the way, is that when you give love away, you open yourself up to receiving it as well. And so, we pour a lot of our hearts into what we do, day in and day out on the show and with the people that that we work with. And so I guess it's confirmation that we're doing something right when we see the comments that we get to see from you guys, and when we get to meet you face to face and feel that that energy. It boosts our confidence and reminds us that, hey, we're doing something good. So thank you for giving us that.